Hey everyone, I'm Trevor, and today we're going to talk about how to save money on your Walt Disney World vacation. So let's get going. I've already spent a good deal of time talking about general park hacks to save money on a visit to Disneyland where we're based, like booking with Getaway Today to save big on your ticket and hotel costs. And this also applies to Walt Disney World, link in the description, but we aren't going to belabor those same points here again. You can check out that video, also a link in the description if you're interested. Instead, I want to talk about the money-saving tactics our family employed during our family vacation to Walt Disney World this year in May. If you haven't seen those vlogs, go check them out. They're chock full of tips and food reviews for having a good time at Disney World. I want to start our list with a personal favorite hack, and that's to book lunch table service reservations. If you know us, you know the main reason we go to Walt Disney World is for the food. I mean, the rides are fun, but the food is where it's at. We saved money this year by booking lunch reservations instead of dinner. This isn't always true, so check the menus for the restaurants you want to eat at, but oftentimes they'll have more affordable prices at lunch for the same menu that they offer at dinner. Lunch also has the handy benefit of allowing you to get out of the heat for a few hours, so it's a win-win in my books. One of the most notable places for this that we have visited in May was Whispering Canyon Cafe at the Wilderness Lodge just outside of Magic Kingdom. We highly recommend it for your Magic Kingdom day, as it's not too complicated to get to, and the food is much better than any table service restaurant inside the park. In our opinion, of course. Here's a quick one that was actually a bit of a new discovery for us this year, but there are huge merch discounts at the ends of the festivals. We visited at the tail end of Flower and Garden Festival this year, and Amy was pleasantly surprised to discover the all Orange Bird merchandise was 30% off as they were trying to deplete their stock. Additionally, she bought it with our Disney Visa card and saved an extra 10% on top of the clearance discount. Which brings us to tip number 3, and that's that Disney Visa card holders save a ton of money throughout the Walt Disney World Resort. We knew there were discounts before now, but we hadn't quite realized how much actually qualified for discounts, whether it was the 20% off at all Joffrey's stands, which includes those giant King Donuts we love so much, or 10% at tons of participating table service restaurants like Boma at Animal Kingdom Lodge, Sanaa at Kidani Village, Sebastian's Bistro at the Caribbean Beach Resort, Steakhouse 71 at Disney's Contemporary Resort, Rose and Crown at Epcot's UK Pavilion, and so much more. In total, this discount applies to 22 hotel restaurants and 15 in-park restaurants. You're likely already planning to visit one of these locations and could be leaving money on the table by not paying with your Disney Visa card if it's not your primary go-to credit card. For us, it's actually our debit card, and we don't often use it, but it does qualify as a Disney Visa. Speaking of credit cards, I have 2 cards, one for personal use and one for business expenses. The business card is a Chase Sapphire Preferred, which awards me 25% extra points if I use my points to book through Chase Travel. Every year, I use these points to purchase our plane tickets, and this year, we saved over $800 on our flights thanks to point redemption. Don't just settle for any old credit card. Find the one that works best for your spending habits and offers the best rewards for your personal situation. In our case, it saves us tons of money on our Walt Disney World vacations. But perhaps the best money-saving tip that I have for you is to take advantage of seasonal resort discounts. These can often save upwards of $900 off your hotel stay, depending on your resort choice and length of stay. Discounts start at 15% and go up to 30% off, depending on your resort choice. And it's not always value resorts equal 15% and deluxe resorts equal 30%. As of the time of this filming, Disney World is offering a 25% discount for All-Star Sports, which is a value resort, but only a 15% discount for the Polynesian, which is a deluxe resort. The trick is these discounts are only available for stays during certain windows, like right now, December 9th through December 25th, 2024. But if you book for trips during these discounts, you'll save big and make going to Disney World that much more affordable. Even if you book your trip a year out and later they announce a deal for the week you're going, you can have the deal applied after it becomes available. This is a new one for me. I never thought I'd be saying it. Stay at a value resort. For years, moderate resorts have been my mantra of a nice blend of affordability and luxury. But last year, I stayed at Disney's All-Star Music Resort for sake of the cheapest possible room that I could find. And this year, we stayed at Disney's Pop Century Resort to try something new. Both hotels feature newly remodeled rooms that outshined anything we experienced at Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort or Port Orleans Riverside. The food was also surprisingly good and far better than I ever remembered from our previous value stays nearly a decade ago. The one thing we still like moderate resorts for is their pools and water slides, and we have yet to stay at a deluxe resort, though I'd love to someday. For now, values might be the way to go for us in the foreseeable future for more reasons than I have time to share in this video. Could you save even more money by staying off property? Potentially, but you'll miss out on free bus transportation to the parks, which means either Ubering or renting a car. Then you miss out on free parking at the parks, so that's an added cost as well. Resort guests also get an extra 30 minutes early entry to each park every morning. Speaking of rental cars, on-site guests get free parking at Disney hotels, so you might be tempted to rent a car, but it's really not necessary. Disney's transportation system is free and convenient, whether it's the buses, the friendship boats, the monorail, or my personal favorite, the Disney Skyliner. The buses work better at resorts with a single stop like the value resorts or places like Port Orleans French Quarter, but be aware for the bigger resorts like Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort, there are multiple stops around the property, and if a bus fills up before it gets to you, it will leave and head for the parks without you. This is another benefit to staying at a value resort, as we never experienced any bus issues there. This may sound like a check mark in the column for purchasing a rental car, but we are trying to save money, and it's just not necessary unless you're planning to visit other Orlando locations outside of Disney World's property. Another add-on to skip is a park hopper. I used to be a big proponent of park hopping, and I still am at Disneyland, where it takes 2 minutes tops to switch between parks. But at Disney World, transferring parks can take in the realm of 30 to 60 minutes each time. That's a lot of time lost that you could be spending inside the park. At roughly an extra $85 a person, it does add up. For a family of 4, a park hopper is $340 extra. In my opinion, the only people who should be adding park hoppers are people staying 3 days or less that absolutely want to hit all 4 parks. If you have at least a 4-day ticket, 1 park per day is just fine. Now let's talk about some more in-park money-saving hacks. Don't buy water bottles. Or soda for that matter. They're a waste of money when Disney will give you water for free. This is a favorite hack of mine, and I will beat it into the ground if I have to. Now, I said that we weren't going to share any of our Disneyland hacks here, but I did find that using this hack in Disney World was a bit more difficult, so I thought it appropriate to share. And that's mostly due to the significant lack of quick service locations at a park like Magic Kingdom compared to Disneyland. Disneyland has 16 quick service dining locations where you can walk in, ask for a cup of water, and walk away in seconds feeling refreshed. Magic Kingdom, on the other hand, has just 9 such restaurants for almost twice the physical footprint. If you only get something to drink just 4 times a day, that's a potential savings of $80 a day, depending on how thirsty your crew gets. Prepare for the heat before you arrive. Disney preys on the unprepared family. Whether it's forgotten sunscreen or something you didn't think you needed until you arrived, like a neck fan or a cooling towel, Disney is happy to sell you these things, but at a significantly marked up cost. Make a list of things you'll need before you go and purchase it beforehand to save a ton of money. Some of the items on our packing list include said sunscreen and neck fan, but also motion sickness patches, ponchos, reusable straws, water sprayers, batteries, snacks, and more. You don't want to spend more than you already have to, and it's nice to know that Disney sells these things if you absolutely need it, but let it be because of a true unforeseen emergency rather than poor planning. Do you remember those coupons they used to send in the mail called Magic Extras? Yeah, they don't do that anymore, at least not through the mail. These vouchers used to come with your free complimentary magic bands, but ever since Disney did away with that and started charging you, they no longer arrive before your trip. In fact, you won't get them at all if you don't ask for them. The magic extras still exist, but they're being gate-kept behind the check-in counter. You can ask for them at check-in or at any time throughout your stay. Our favorite coupon is the one that's good for 4 free games of miniature golf at either Winter Summer Summerland or Fantasia Gardens. Going mini golfing is a tradition of ours, and we'll gladly keep doing it on Disney's dime so long as they offer them. Whether you have children in your group or seniors that don't eat a whole lot, purchasing kids' meals at Walt Disney World can be a great way to save money. I haven't quite figured this one out yet, but at our home park in Disneyland, adult meals are actually cheaper than 2 kids' meals, so we often buy a single adult meal to split between our 2 kids. It's just more affordable that way. Amy and I will even sometimes split an adult meal. But at Disney World, we found that purchasing 2 kids' meals was almost always cheaper than buying an adult meal to split. These kids' meals have the added benefit of coming with a drink and up to 2 sides each, and the sides are often packable, so you can throw them in your bag and pull them out later when your child wants a snack. Speaking of snacks, one of the cheapest and tastiest snacks at Walt Disney World is their popcorn. There's just something about it. I can't explain it. We often say that it's covered in pixie dust. If you purchase a popcorn bucket at Walt Disney World, you can get discounted refills on popcorn throughout the duration of your stay. The current refill price is $2.25 as opposed to $6.50 for a single-use box. We've even brought old buckets from previous trips, and they've still honored the refill price without us having to fork over extra dollars for a new bucket each trip. This hack even works for some flavored popcorns, like the maple popcorn at Epcot's Canada Pavilion, which was so good, by the way. And that's it for my top money-saving tips for Walt Disney World. If you'd like to see these tips in action and hear more about our Walt Disney World vacation from 2024, go ahead and click the playlist on your screen now to start watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. Thanks for watching, and we will see you again next time.